In 10th class, one of the chapter is there, that is nothing but refraction of light at plane surfaces. In this, what is meaning of refraction? What are the different phenomena of refraction? What are the effects of refraction that we may study? To study the basic principles of the refraction, we require an activity. That activity requires a glass slab of thickness 2 centimeters and a long scale, a protractor, pencil or otherwise pen, some of the needles. This may be having some little bit thickness. A white paper is required and a thermocol sheet is required. Now, once again the apparatus are a glass slab of thickness 2 centimeters and a long scale and a protractor, needles, white sheet and as well as a thermocol sheet. Now, let us do the activity. First of all, place the rectangular glass slab of thickness 2 centimeters on the white paper and draw the boundary surfaces. I am drawing the boundary surface of the glass slab. Now, remove the glass slab. We can understood that the rectangular places as ABCD. Rectangular slab as ABCD. Now, identify a point on AB. I identified the point on AB. By placing the compass at the particular point, I am drawing a normal. Draw a normal at the point. Let us consider this point as O and this act as normal ON. ON is normal. I draw the normal at the particular point. Now insert 2 pins on the normal ON vertically. I inserted the 2 pins on the normal ON vertically. Again replace the glass slab. I replaced the glass slab. Now we can observe the images of the pins. From other side of the slab, that is AB. We can observe the images of the pins through the glass slab. Observe the images of the pins through the glass slab. Now I am going to insert one more pin. That pin and the images must be in a same line. The pin and the 2 other pins must be in a same line. Now insert one more pin, then the totally 4 pins must be in a same line. 4 pins must be in a same line. Now remove the glass slab. Join those 2 pins. To the side CD. Now we can observe that. If you consider these 2 pins are P and Q and the remaining 2 pins are R and S, they should be there in a same straight line. That means the light that is falling on the pins PQ, light that falls on the PQ entered from air to glass. And again at this surface, the light is entered from glass to air. On the surface AB, light entered from air to glass and again it is entered from glass to air. Totally, the light is travelled from air to glass and again glass to air. Means the light is moving from different kinds of the media. Whenever the light is travelling at different kinds of the media at an angle of 90 degrees, there is no deviation process. Once again, if the light is travelling from air to glass and glass to air at an angle of 90 degrees, nothing will be happened. The light always travel in straight line. That is called rectilinear propagation of light. In the second case, once again I am going to draw the boundary surface of the given rectangular glass slab. boundary surface of the rectangular glass slab. It is represented as ABCD. Once again I identified the point on the surface of AB. Now again draw normal. Again I am drawing the normal. This point is represented as O and the normal is represented as N. Now keep the protractor at normal. Identify a point with 30 degrees, that is 50. Now join this. This means this point, this means the light ray is falling at an angle of 30 degrees. This means angle of incidence is 30. Extend the light ray, that is the light ray should travel from air to glass at an angle of 30. The light ray makes an angle of 30 degrees with the normal. This angle is called angle of incidence. Now insert two more pins, namely PQ. Two more pins, namely PQ, on the incident ray. That means the light is passing through the pins PQ. Replace the glass slab. By replacing the glass slab, observe the images of the pins. Observe the images of the pins through the glass slab. Observe the images of the pins through the glass slab. Insert two more pins. Insert two more pins in which images of the pins PQ. Images of the pins PQ. And the pins should be there in a same line. Pins must be there in a same line. Yes. Now remove the glass slab. After removing the glass slab, we should join the line to this. Now again draw a normal. By joining these two normals, here we can understand that when the light is traveling from air to glass without traveling in straight line, it is bended. Without it traveling in straight line, it is deviated from its path. And again, if you observe, the light whenever it is traveling from glass to air without traveling in a straight line, again it is deviated from its path. Here the angle of incidence is 30. By measuring the angle here, this means angle between the emergent ray and the normal. Emergent ray and the normal is also 30 degrees. That means angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence, that is 30 degrees. This means if you understand the light ray which is passing from the pins, that is PQ, and enter into the glass at the interface of air and glass, it is deviated from its path. And again, when the light is traveling from glass to air, again it is deviated from its path. From this, what we understood? When the light is traveling from one medium to the another medium, it is not traveling in its rectilinear propagation. That is not, it is not at all traveling in a straight line. It is deviating from its path. But once it is enter into the another medium, again it is traveling in a straight line. That means at the interface of the two different kind of media, at the interface of two different kind of media only, light is deviating from its path. This kind of deviation of the light at different interface of the media is called refraction. That means, once again, refraction is nothing but the phenomena of deviation of the light ray from its path at the interface of two different media is called as refraction. Here in this process, angle of incidence is 30. What is meaning of angle of incidence? It is nothing but angle between the normal and the incident ray. Angle between the normal and the incident ray. This angle is said to be angle of emergence. What is angle of emergence? It is the angle between normal and the emergent ray. Angle between the normal and the emergent ray is nothing but angle of emergence. In the first case, the angle of incidence is 90 and the angle of emergence is also 90. Here the angle of incidence is 30, angle of emergence is also 30. But we should understand one thing. If the light ray is traveling from air to glass without traveling in straight line, it is bended towards the normal. It bends towards the normal. This angle means angle between the normal and refracted ray. Angle between the normal and refracted ray is called angle of refraction. Angle of refraction. Here, angle of refraction is less than the angle of incidence. Now here, if you consider the light ray is coming from glass to air without traveling in straight line, the light ray is deviated away from the normal. Light ray is deviated away from the normal. Let us consider one more example like this, but the angle of incidence is 40 degrees. First case, we consider the light ray strikes the surface at an angle of 90 degrees. Second case, the light ray strikes the surface at an angle of 30 degrees. In the third case, we are going to draw the picture when the light ray strikes the surface at an angle of 50 degrees or otherwise 40 degrees. Now, once again, put the rectangular glass slab on the paper, draw its boundary surface, remove the glass slab, identify it as A, B, C, D, identify a point on the surface that is AB, draw the normal. As usual, this means we are repeating the same process. Now, here we drawn the normal. This is the normal that is drawn to the particular point, and once again by placing the protractor, identify the angle 10 degrees, 20, 30, 40 means the light ray incidents on the glass slab at an angle of 40 degrees. Now join these 2 points, extend the light ray. That means the light ray should travel in straight line. Now consider the point of incidence as O. N is nothing but the normal. Now here 2 pins will be there. The 2 pins are nothing but PQ, where the line PQO is called incident ray. PQO is called incident ray. It is making an angle of 40 degrees to the normal. So the 40 degrees is called angle of incidence. Insert 2 pins at the points that is P and as well as at the point Q vertically. Replace the glass slab on the sides that is AB. Now observe the images of the pins PQ through the side CD. Means the light ray that is falling on the pins PQ touches the surface of the glass AB and it will travel through the glass slab, and we are observing the images of those 2 pins from the side CD. Now observe the images of the pins side CD. Now remove the glass slab. What I did? I observed the images of the pins PQ through the glass slab and inserted 2 more pins. These 2 points can be represented as R and S. Now remove the points R, S. Join those points R, S to side CD. Now draw one more normal at the particular point. This normal can be represented as N dash. This point can be represented as O dash. Now here PQO shows incident ray. PQO is the incident ray. O dash RS. O dash RS incidents emergent ray. Join the O and O dash. Join the O and O dash. If you observe this diagram, if you observe this activity, what we should understand? If the light ray passes from air to glass without traveling in straight line, it is deviated from its path. And at the same time, it is traveling from glass to air without traveling in straight line. Again, it is deviated from its path. Whether moving from air to glass or from glass to air, it is deviated from its path. But whenever it is traveling through the glass, it does not deviate. That means whenever a light ray is traveling in a single medium, it is not deviating. Whenever a light ray is traveling through one medium to the another medium, at the interface of the two different media only, it is deviating from its path. See, that means the process of deviation of light ray, whenever it is traveling from one medium to the another medium, at the interface of the two different media is called refraction. The phenomena of deviation of a light ray at the interface of two different media is called refraction. Here the angle between, this means angle PON is called angle of incidence, that is nothing but 40 degrees, and angle, that is angle O dash N is nothing but angle of refraction. Angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Here the angle of emergence is also 40 degrees. That means angle I is equal to angle E is equal to 40 degrees. Angle between incident ray and the normal is called angle of incidence. Angle between the normal and the emergent ray is called angle of emergence. Angle between normal and the refracted ray is called angle of refraction. In this case, whenever a light ray traveling from air to glass, it is deviated from its path. Whenever it is traveling from glass to air, again it is deviated from its path. From this, we can understand that whenever a light ray is traveling from one medium to the another medium, it should not travel in its own path. Compulsory, it will deviate. The process of deviation of a light ray, whenever it is traveling from one medium to the another medium, is called as refraction.